Hello there, I'm another Magento dev, and it is Magento upgrade day. 2.4.5 is out, right, today. So to celebrate, I'm going to do an update. Of a site, but I'm not just gonna sort of swing the lead and do my 2.4.4 demo store with nothing on it, basically, and upgrade that to 2.4.5. No. I've picked an old site what I don't even look after anymore. I've got the repo. They've moved to a Shopify, so everything's sort of irrelevant in terms of Magento, and I'm gonna upgrade it, and I believe I believe it was a 2.4.3. So that'll be good enough, won't it? So bin Magento, that stands for. It's just my shorthand. I believe it was a 2.4. Yeah, 2.4.3. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna upgrade a 2.4.3. I think that's early enough. But the good thing about this, when you're doing these upgrades, right? Versions, like version from one version to another. Obviously, PHP versions have changed and dependencies have changed. Like, I think the new one, it only works. It's 7.4 is the 2.4.5. 7.4 PHP is the lowest. Obviously, everyone would prefer to be on 8. So version isn't so much of an issue for me, for the developer, for the actual Magento dev. It's more what that store carries. It's the customizations, it's the plugins, it's how those plugins have been installed in the past and that. And I've picked this one because it's an old one, it's one I inherited. And it's a bit of a mess, to be honest. Look, there's a load of old plugins in here, in the code folder. There's others in Composer, installed by Composer, and it's a bit of a mishmash. But let's upgrade it and we'll see if we hit any issues. And I'm not too worried about hitting issues. I'm not going to cut the video or anything like that. What I want to go through, as always, is the process. I want to enable you guys to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. Because there's no good watching me just flawlessly smash through an upgrade. You're going to hit issues sometimes, at some point, across a range of sites you probably look after, particularly on your first few goes. And you want to know how to overcome the issues, not how to overcome a specific thing. And, if we go too specific, then you're not going to learn as much. So that's why I thought I'd pick, if I just said, first you run this command and then you run the next command. If I just went through it like that, I mean, go on a different YouTube video, there's loads of them. This is how this is how a professional gets an upgrade through. This is what this video is about. And we're going to be upgrading, as I say, to 2.4.5, which is out today. So these are the docs, right? And they've changed. They go through all kinds of iterations. You can see it's a require commerce command now. That, I don't know, it don't work for me. I never use it. I always just use require and it's fine. There'll be a reason for that. Put the reason in the comments if you know why it's changed to require commerce and how I get that to work. I can't be bothered to figure out why I can't get that working. Or basically I can't get it working because I ain't looked into it and seen what you need to do. Anyway, without further ado, we are 3.5 minutes in, so let's get the upgrade started. So it says in the docs, and this makes me laugh, right? It says put your store in maintenance mode, right? It says it here, look, maintenance mode. Right, for me, that's the first thing that I would address. Always do your upgrades locally. Never do them on a server. You should have a deployment pipeline set up by now, if you've been watching my videos and following my channel. You need to run your upgrade locally, which then updates the file system if need be, and makes necessary changes to the new file system for Magento, the new structure. It'll delete and remove files, it always does. Hopefully not to a massive extent, but you'll probably get about 1,000 files that'll change if you're going from a 4.3 to if you jump in a couple of versions, which is to be expected. But the main thing it updates is your Composer file and your Composer lock, which means that if you're using a deployment pipeline, which hopefully has an empty vendor folder and you're using containers, Composer install will run your upgrade for you on the fly and then switch containers, and the site will become live with 0 or minimal downtime, fully upgraded. Now, you should have got through all the issues locally. There shouldn't be any issues by the time you're pushing that. So To show good practice, right? I'm currently on master branch. Obviously, this repo ain't connected to anything anymore. But what I would probably do first is I'd do git checkout, and then I'd do Magento update 245 something. Just basically change to this branch. So you do Magento checkout -b to create a new branch, and then I'm basically working on another branch, right? And once I'm happy with it, I'll merge that branch into develop or master. Like I've merged out master, so it depends on how synced up your branches are, but I'll go off master because that's the production site. That's the one I want to really test it on. Okay, so I'm going to go composer, and as I say, composer require works fine for me. If require commerce works for you, go with that. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of follow this one here for minor release, if you like, or you could do either of these, to be honest. And I'm just going to grab, no, I'm not, never touch enterprise. I'm just gonna grab this, which is the product and the version. So obviously this is saying 240, but we're going to go 245, and we're going to say no update flag at the end, right? And what should happen is, yeah, always get this. So what's happening here is 245 wants these in a different order to what 243 is saying. Now, I've done it in the past where I've gone with either, to be honest. But in terms of like keeping this keeping this like as an upgrade process, I'm going to go with change those and go with 245. I want 245 to be in the right order. Because I'm not going to lie to you and pretend I know what all this shit does. I don't, but let's just sort of go through it and see if we can get it working. So we're going to say interactive Magento conflicts to override with the Magento order. And what it's going to do, it's going to update these things as well. Interactive. So you could say use Magento default values. And I think in another video I've done from when I was upgrading a lower version, I went with Magento defaults. So go with whatever you're comfortable with here, I'd say. But I'm just going to experiment. I'm going to go with interactive Magento conflicts and see what it does. So basically, I'm adding that flag in. And I'm also going to say no update. No update, interactive Magento conflicts. And then it's going to ask me, do I want to update this version? Look, it's trying to override the local changes. I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say yeah again to do it in the order that I wanted. I'm just going to basically say yeah to all these because I want it to be. I want to see it fully upgraded. Okay, right at this point, I should have some changes. Yeah, I've got some changes in my composer file here. As you can see, I'm going from that version to that version. This is what I meant about a deployment pipeline. It's got rid of some modules here. So I'm going to run composer update here locally, but you don't need to run that on your server. You should set this up to enable your deployment pipeline just to run composer install in a vendor folder. That's what we're aiming for. So let's follow this through. And we're gonna, at this point now, we're gonna run composer update because my composer file is straightened out and ready to go. Let's see what it does. Now this can take a while. I said I won't pause the video. We'll see how long it takes. I might pause the video, I might do. But in the meantime, we'll just have a quick look at these docs and make sure that we're at the right point. Yeah, so I'm at this point here, basically composer update. I'm going to be clearing these folders out in a minute, and then I'm going to be running the big four. So I'm going to be running setup upgrade. When it says go for setup upgrade, okay, but I'm still going to want to deploy my static content and that. So you're going to want to run the big four. You're going to want to run setup upgrade, di compile, static content deploy, obviously locally -f. You should be in developer mode when you're doing it, and then you want to run. You just want to flush the caches. Yeah, that's what we want to be doing next. So there we go, it's running through it, it's racing through the upgrade here, it's racing through it. As you can see, so we're up to 461, there we go. Lovely stuff. Right, that's good. So now, let's see if we get any issues. So, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to try and run a Magento command. So I'm going to run bin Magento -- version again. Now this, to be honest, will pick up if there's any issues.
Wait for it to burst. Wait for it to burst. Wait for it, look out.
I'm using the command line. There we go, right. Could have predicted it, right. Okay, so Klarna, we've got an issue with a Klarna class. Right. Right, so, okay, great. Now, how do we deal with this, right? Let's just work it through. So, look, it's saying it's a missing class. Look, class not found. And it isn't telling me that it's anything to do with the Klarna installation in vendor. You know, the Klarna module, essentially, which comes with, I think it comes with Magento now. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to do what I always do. I'm going to search for it, look. I'm going to search for it. And I've gotten it. Right, yeah, this is an old store now. I don't even know if they use, obviously, it's irrelevant, but, you know, it's a bit of fun in it. This module from Edworks, the checkout module, it was like a one-page checkout, which for me, you don't need in Magento 2, but you know, I don't think they even used it anymore. I think we sacked it off. I think we did actually sack it off, and it just happens to still be in the file system. So what would I do? Right, I found the issue essentially. Right, yeah, we rebuilt it, and we didn't use this module. But right, so what happens if we are using this module? Well, the first thing because obviously I could just delete the folder here, and we're going to get by the problem. But what I want to do is I want to walk it through. So Klarna's actually disabled, which, and as we said, it's sort of irrelevant in it. So I'm just going to search for a Headworks in here. Yeah, you see, we did disable the one-step checkout, but we left this on. AFPTC, I can't remember what it was. Do you know? Yeah, we disabled the one. It's just another. It's not the checkout. It's not. Obviously, it looks like it is because it's something to do with Klarna, but it's actually a add a free gift plugin towards the end. So, yeah, what would I do? Right. Well, what I would do is I'd disable this extension first of all and see if it runs. See if it gets rid of the issue. Now, that isn't to say we won't fix this extension, but what we're probably going to need, so I'm getting another one with the next one here, I'm getting one with Fishpig. So this, it looks to me like it's to do with an old version. It's an old version of Fishpig, which is another extension in there. So this is what I would do. I want to get the upgrade through, right? I want to see something working. So I'm just going to make a note of all the things that I'm sort of switching off. As I say, I'm not just going to sack these things off. We will go back and fix them. This is why. There we go. Right. So I am on Magento 2.4.5, and that ain't a bad return. That is it. 2 modules that are probably needed updating. Now there's something very similar, and I've mentioned this in other videos. There's something that that both of these. To note, really, there's something to note is that both of these extensions are installed through app code, which means they haven't upgraded with my Composer update command. If these had been installed via Composer, the chances are that they've upgraded, and the chances are Fishpig and Headworks, hopefully, you know, you would have hoped, would have compatible versions now with the new version of Magento. You would have thought, or at least like the last time they would have been upgraded would have been over a year ago when we went to 2.4.3. So even if they're not fully compatible with 2.4.5 and maybe 2.4.4, there's less chance that the most recent is going to be incompatible. Now these are incompatible for me because of the older versions, and they're in the code folder. Like it's just another case to say, install your modules through Composer if you can. Both of those modules, by the way, do have Composer packages, so you could have done. So I'm just going to switch them off for now. Right, it's still not liking liking this. So it looks like anything to do with monologue is crapping out. So there must be an issue with the way these extensions, their old versions, are implementing monologue. So to just go into like the logger here, and I could like comment all this out. But do you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that for the Amnesty one, because the Amnesty one provides a lot of functionality. So I'm just gonna comment all this out just for now. Did I do that? Right, that's up there. I'm just gonna comment all this out. Right. Yeah. Just comment this out. Yeah, look. So yeah, it's not compatible anymore. Look. So we can come back to things like that. We can come back to them. To be fair, Amnesty have probably fixed it. Amnesty will have fixed it. But this is all just temporary. It's all just temporary. And it's only logging, so it's not going to hopefully create that much of an issue. So that's from that module there, the M2E Pro. Yeah. So again, don't like the implementation, so it looks like there'll be an easy fix for this. Let's get rid of that. Okay, don't like the implementation, so I don't think it'll bother about lemons. Right, let's try DI compile again. No, I've done that. That one might have been an issue. The Extento one. It's only an implementation of it. The ones it didn't like, looking at it, is that add record one. So that's the one to be aware of, people. What's this here? It's Klarna again. What did I not get rid of that? I'm just gonna remove this plugin because I know they don't use it anymore anyway. So like that's what I would have been doing in real life, or I'd be upgrading it for the new one. So again, we'll just bang that on the desktop. Get rid of that. Okay, let's try again. DI compile. So it seems to have got past them other issues, but this is it, working it through. I know this is a mighty long video about a Magento upgrade, but hopefully it's just washing over you, and making, and and giving you some insight onto what an upgrade process actually entails. Right, so that's because I'm running DI compile one. So let's get rid of generated code. It's looking for these classes, I think. This is the first time I've done a video like this where it's like warts and all on an upgrade. And to be fair, I made it hard for myself to pick a 2.4.3 in the state that this was in. Not there anymore. Oh, it's been extended again in another bloody module. Let's get rid of these. Let's get rid of that altogether. Run DI compile again. Does it put it in? Do I need to clear it out? So most of this is my own doing, innit? Most of this is my own doing. Hey, right, okay. So, I mean, hopefully it'll get to step 9, but at least we've got past step 1. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's took a while. So this is it, people. This is the reality of Magento upgrades. Would you get these issues with just patching it? Probably, yeah, probably, because it's when you try and rebuild your store based on new dependencies and what have you, and then I've just got to do static content. But for me, that's gone through, and as I said, it is up to it is already on. It is on the right version, so I can show you just to recap. 245. So that for me it was painful, but it's an upgrade nonetheless. It's gone from 2.4.243, I believe, to 245. Now, this is the main message: is always keep your upgrades tight. Like, upgrade every time, and you're gonna get less of these issues because, as I said, these extensions are probably predate 2.4.3 release. Most of this is going to be fixed pretty easily, and not even by me. Like, I'm going to go to all of these vendors and say, give me a new version of these of XYZ, and it's probably going to go through no bother. And bit by bit, I'm going to get the functionality in my store back. Fingers crossed, you guys have got clean stores, Composer installed, and you're not going to have the issues. Please hit me up in the comments if you have similar issues with other extensions. Let's get a list of the ones to look out for. It'd be good on the video. Also, you know, if you like this type of content, this sort of like rambling kind of, you know, free form stuff where I just run at a problem, pop a like on the video, let me know in the comments if you like it, and I'll do more like this. I know they're quite long-winded, but you know, it's the type of stuff that hopefully you're gonna get more out of as beginners. But yeah, great stuff. It's been a fun journey, and I will see you in the next one.